joined once again by Greg Rebello, who's going to be taking on Oscar Ivan Cota at Dana White's Contender Series on June 26th. Greg, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's happening, my man? How's everything going with you?
It's going pretty well, but not as good as you, though. You got this big fight coming up here, but I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised you're doing this after the ass whooping I gave you at NHL 94 a few months ago in Brooklyn. Have you been able to sort of recover from that?
I haven't, man. It's embarrassing. I haven't been the same ever since. So I've been playing nonstop NHL hockey ever since. I'm going to get you back. Don't worry.
All right. We'll set the rematch in a few months. We'll see what happens. And speaking of hockey, the Washington Capitals winning the Stanley Cup a few days ago. Just thoughts on them getting the win as a fellow hockey fan?
Obviously, it's kind of cool to see the little Cinderella story that Vegas had going on. For them to win a title in the first year would have been amazing. But, man, Alexander Ovechkin, that guy's paid his dues more than anybody. I've seen him lose in the conference finals more than anybody probably in any sport. I mean, how many times have you seen that guy up 3-1 in the series and come back and lose? It's just, so I'm happy for him, man. He deserves it, I think, more than anybody in the NHL.
As a fellow professional athlete, seeing that, does that kind of inspire you as well, just knowing, he sort of never gave up on his dream of getting the Stanley Cup?
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm going to be 36 by the time this fight comes, and I'm still going. I still feel good, so absolutely.
And you've known about this fight for a while. If you haven't seen our first interview over on Flow Combat, go check that out where you can see the beating I gave Greg at NHL 94. But how have you structured your training camp? Has it been sort of business as usual? Have you gone down to the PI at all? What's sort of been the plan for training camp?
Yeah, no, it's business as usual. I train at CES, I train at Triforce, and I go to Lausanne's as well. So I do a lot of traveling. In New England around here, there's been a lot of guys, making a lot of waves in the UFC. So you're seeing a lot of the top New England guys come together to help each other train. So, everybody from different camps does a lot of traveling, and we've kind of made like an all-star team pretty much of characters to kind of get everybody in shape, so it's pretty cool.
And there's a lot of CES guys on the Contender Series this year, just like there was last year. Do you kind of root for them a little bit, just as a fellow CES guy?
Yeah, of course. Two of my buddies are fighting tonight, man, or tomorrow night, Sean Lally and Chris Curtis. Sean Lally never fought for CES, but he's always been a local guy, and he's a guy that I train with. And Chris Curtis, I've always just known him from, fighting on CES. I've cornered him a few times. And, it's Rico DeSculo, also another guy from CES, fighting tomorrow night. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It just shows you how good and how talented that the guys from CES and the guys from New England are.
And who have been some of your main training partners for this camp?
I still train with, the same guys. When I go to Lausanne's, I train with Mike Rodriguez. There's another amateur. They have this young kid, Marty, that you guys are going to be seeing a lot. I train with Fabio Charant, another one of my main sparring partners. He's fighting on CES Friday night.
Oh, that's right next.
Tommy, yep. So him, Tommy Davis. There's a lot of young guys that you haven't really heard of, which is it's good. I like to train with the young, hungry guys, man, because they come after it and try to take my head off. So it keeps me young, keeps me in shape.
Is the Banana still training with you guys? I know he retired, but is he at least in the gym, or is he kind of giving it up?
Yeah, no. So Bananas, he runs a school, Junico, down in the Cape, and he's actually been grappling a lot. He's gotten into back into the gi grappling. And he's won a few tournaments as of recently. I'm not sure which ones exactly, but yeah, Banana never stops training, man. He's always in the gym. So.
And I know your wife's into fitness and all that stuff. She does the training and everything. Is she the one who sort of prepares all your meals for camp and everything like that? Well,
for me, it's easy. I actually just do food prep. So a buddy of mine owns a company called Innovation Fitness, which is right down the street from my house. That's where I get all the G butter and all that fancy stuff. Mm-hmm. And he gets me food prep, so it's just easy, man. I go in my fridge, all the food's there. I don't have to cook. When I come home from training, who wants to cook? It sucks. It's such a pain in the butt. Yeah. But she does. She has a show coming up in August, so she food preps day and night. I don't know how she does it because I cook one meal and I'm ready to hang it up. You know what I mean? I hate cooking, man. So I'd rather just pay and have it, done for me so I don't have to deal with it. It just makes it a lot easier.
And, as a heavyweight, you don't think of, weight cutting, obviously, but, how important is it to have a good diet, even though, you're not having really cut any weight at all?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's, I train anywhere between 240 and 250. I broke my hand, obviously, in the last fight with Travis, so I was a little husky for a little while. But when you can't train, it's easy to put on the weight. But right. Anywhere between 240 and 250, I'm comfortable with in fighting. That's pretty much where I train, so it's that's pretty much perfection for me. So as long as I'm anywhere in that range, I always eat clean for a good 6 to 8 weeks before the camp, and that's it. No cutting weight. Thank God.
Right, exactly. What's your mentality going into this fight? Because obviously, you had a shot last year in Contender Series, didn't go your way, and now you've got this other shot. It's tough to get a third chance like this. How do you sort of approach it without putting too much pressure on yourself?
I mean, it's just another fight. I've lost a few fights. I've won a lot more than I've lost, and it's the heavyweight division. Sometimes you get caught, man. Sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail. It's just the way it is. So I'm just going to do what got me to the dance. You know what I mean? I'm going to do what got me here. Like, it's just, I'm not going to change anything. A lot of guys, if they lose a fight, they go out and they try and reinvent the wheel. And it's just, to me, it's just stupid. I've had the same coaches I've always had since day one. I've obviously added in like a few key guys. But yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go after it.
And how do you, now that you've sort of had a chance to assess your opponent, look him up? I know the coaches sort of play more of a role in that. What do you think about your opponent as far as the matchup?
It's a great matchup. I mean, there's not a ton on him. Obviously he's 10-1 for a reason. You know what I mean? He's never fought anybody even close to as good as I am. But the kid still gets it done. You know what I mean? He gets the job done. That's like the most important thing. But it's, he seems like he's well-rounded. I've seen him win fights on the ground. I've seen him win fights standing up. So I don't really know what to expect. But I don't really go off that. I kind of worry about myself. I think if you start worrying about other guys too much or what they're going to do, it's going to cause you to hesitate and it's going to cause you to look for, too many things in there. I'm just going to go in there and fight like my fight. If I've prepared everywhere. My coaches have me, I'm good on the ground. I'm a good wrestler and I'm obviously a good striker. So, I mean, wherever it goes, I know I can win this fight and I know I'm better than him. So it doesn't really matter to me.
Are we going to expect another early finish in this one? That seems to be the theme your last couple of fights.
That's been a theme for a lot of my fights, but yeah, that's always, I don't get paid by the hour, so it's, I'd rather just get the money quick and get the heck out of there. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I always, if I see an opening in the first round, I'm going to take it, and I always go after it, and I don't hold anything back, so it's not going to be anything different. So.
What are your thoughts on the UFC's heavyweight division right now? It seems like it's going through a bit of a transition period. You've got Stipe at the top, and then you've seen a few up-and-comers. We had Curtis Blaydes on the weekend getting a big win over Overeem. What are your thoughts just on the picture right now? Because it seems like there's a lot of guys on the way out.
Yeah, no, it does. It seems like but the thing is it's the mileage. I mean, Overeem's 3 years older than I am, but he has got about 50 times more miles than I do. Like, he just has a lot of wars in him. But Stipe's. I think he's going to be the champ for a while. I don't see anybody beating him for a little bit. I mean, he's the full package, and the power on that guy is ridiculous. But Curtis Blaydes, he's a guy I trained with last year. He's good, man, and he's a huge heavyweight. You saw how good his takedowns are. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Overeem on his back in the UFC. Can you? I don't think I've ever seen. No, I know.
I was thinking of that too. And the second Blaydes got that takedown, I thought, this is his fight.
Yep, I agreed. And, so yes, there is a lot of young up-and-coming talent. I think Blaydes he's going to be the guy, but I just don't think it's his time yet. I think if he fights Stipe, I don't think he's going to win, but I think at some point, when Stipe, retires and moves on, I think Blaydes is going to be that guy.
You're a little bit bummed out your fight 6 days later. The NHL awards are coming up on the 20th. You could have gone and tried to, get in and maybe say hi to Tyler Seguin.
Yeah, that would have been nice, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been cool. What are your thoughts on the draft and everything like that, the offseason for the Bruins? I mean, I don't know about you, but for myself, I love the offseason because you always get to sort of keep tabs on how the team's going to look in the next year. In your case, for the Bruins, what are you sort of expecting?
Yeah, so I was just reading on Twitter a little while ago. They were talking about, different moves that they should make. And everybody seems to think they should get rid of Torrey Krug. I don't know why. I think he's one of the... Yeah, he was one of the top scoring defensemen in the league the last 2 years. He has 110 points in the last 2 seasons. In the playoffs, he was one of our best performers. We need to get another goal. We need a left defenseman. I don't think we need to get rid of Torrey Krug. We have so many young guys, Grzelcyk, Zaboral, Jeremy Lozano. We have a lot of young talent. We could trade them off and get a left defenseman. I would love to sign a guy like Erik Karlsson or somebody like that, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Keep dreaming. That's not happening.
Oh, man, that would happen. Him, or they're looking at Clefbaum from Edmonton.
Okay.
That'd be a good guy. He's a big, good left shot. And we need a scorer. They're talking about signing Rick Nash back, but after how he played in the playoffs, I'd rather have Cliff Roning's son. But
what?
So I don't know. They need a scorer, and then they need a defenseman.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the report today. It sounds like the Oilers might be shopping Lucic because of his contract. Would you want to see Milan back in Boston?
Maybe if he was bartending somewhere. I don't really want to see him on the ice. I mean, I don't know. He just, he had a good year, and he's just kind of fell off, man. The guy just hasn't been the same, The Bruins won that in 2011. A lot of these guys are getting older. Bergeron and Krejci. you know, Krejci's definitely on his back nine, and so isn't Lucic. So no, I don't think we need to, unless we can get him for a pretty sweet deal. I don't see the need for it. You know.
Well, and we certainly got to watch this fight. It's Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, June 26th, live on UFC Fight Pass. Ribs, it's always good talking to you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, my social media, my Instagram is gribsmma23, and then my Twitter is grebello73, I think. But yes, you can always follow me on them. It's a lot of fun. I like to make fun of all the guys on my team and cause all kinds of ruckus, dude. You know what I mean? I'm a keyboard warrior that can actually fight, but I just do it. I just do it for fun, man. I have a good time with it. So,
what's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.